care about people, and when we see injustice or we see people suffering, that,
For more than 3 decades, the world saw the fairy tale. The frontman of Bon Jovi, the voice behind anthems like Livin' on a Prayer, married to his high school sweetheart, standing strong while so many celebrity marriages collapsed under pressure. But after 35 years of silence, at 62, Dorothea Hurley finally allowed the truth to breathe. And what she revealed wasn't glamorous. It wasn't polished. It was raw. She met Jon Bon Jovi in 1980 at Sayreville War Memorial High School. Long before stadium tours, before screaming fans, before the world tried to turn him into a fantasy. She wasn't dazzled by a rock star. She fell in love with the boy who sat beside her in class. A black belt in karate, disciplined and grounded, she became the quiet counterweight to a man destined for chaos. When fame exploded in the mid-'80s and Slippery When Wet turned him into a global obsession, executives demanded he sell the image of a bachelor. Dorothea was seen as a liability. At one point, he even drifted, briefly dating actress Diane Lane while Hollywood cameras flashed. Dorothea stayed in New Jersey, watching the machine attempt to erase her. But fame built on illusion felt hollow, and he returned, not to a fan, not to a fantasy, but to the one person who knew him before the posters and pyrotechnics. In 1989, they defied everyone and eloped in Las Vegas, marrying quietly at the Graceland Chapel. Instead of celebration, there was fury. Managers feared album sales would collapse. Fans blamed her for stealing their dream. She became a target overnight. Through the 90s, temptation surrounded him. Rumors, hotel parties, whispers in tabloids. Dorothea didn't respond with public drama. She built boundaries. She made it clear they could have his image, but she had the man. And when crisis truly struck, not gossip, not fame, but family, her strength was tested beyond imagination. In 2012, their daughter Stephanie suffered a heroin overdose in college. That 2 a.m. phone call shattered the rock star persona. While Jon spiraled in guilt, Dorothea coordinated doctors, protected privacy, and stood unshaken beside her child through recovery. When longtime guitarist Richie Sambora left the band in 2013, sending Jon into depression, she again became the enforcer, refusing to let him disappear into self-pity. Then came the most personal collapse, his voice. On the 2022 tour, fans heard it. The strain, the missed notes, the fading power. Critics were ruthless, but the harshest words came backstage from the only person brave enough to say them. She told him the truth. It wasn't good. If he couldn't be himself on stage, he should stop. That brutal honesty pushed him toward risky vocal surgery and a grueling recovery. Years later, he would admit publicly that he had never been a saint in their marriage, a quiet acknowledgement of past betrayals and moral failures. She had known, she had endured, and she had stayed, not for fame, not for money, but for the covenant they built before the world interfered. Together, they poured their energy into the JBJ Soul Kitchen, serving meals to those in need, washing dishes side by side. Two people once worshipped by millions, now finding healing in humility. By 2026, Dorothea no longer stands in the shadows. She speaks openly about loving the man he is now. Not the idol, not the icon, but the aging soul marked by scars. She admits she has had to learn him all over again. Their marriage, she says, isn't held together by sweet promises. It's held together by truth, even when that truth cuts. The real shock isn't scandal. It's endurance. It's a woman strong enough to confront collapse instead of running from it. Behind one of rock's most enduring careers was never blind devotion. It was discipline, boundaries, and the courage to speak the bitter truth when no one else would. And at 62, When the high notes don't soar the way they once did, what remains isn't fantasy. It's ironclad trust, forged through storms the world never fully saw.